Hey girl, you up? Always is the answer. I'm Anna, I'm 40 plus and fabulous. I have no professional expertise in love whatsoever, but I do have skin in the game, and I'm out there dating. Hey girl, you up? Are you in search of a long-term relationship but keep getting caught in a TBD situationship? Today's show is all about ships. We are getting shipped left, right, and center. And we're going to talk about it with another fellow dater, Tana, who considers herself rather shipwrecked. We want to say hello to our amazing guest, Miss Tana, who is a writer, director, talented actress, comedian, and a fellow single. Hi, Tana.
Hi, Anna. What's up, girl?
I mean, we're here. We're both shipwrecked, I think. Like, this is insane.
Yeah, when I heard it was about ships, I was like, ships.
Yeah.
Ships. I didn't know it was going to be nautical, but I'll roll with that.
Hey, you just need a captain hat apparently these days in dating because I don't know what's going on.
Girl, let me get aboard with you. Let's talk about this. Let's figure it out.
What is happening?
What are all these ships?
When I was younger, there were no ships.
No.
I think it was like you want to go steady.
Right.
And I think maybe that was it. I don't know.
There were bases. There were like, get to first base, get to second base, get to third base. There were still bases. And now we've moved into the ocean somehow because we're all like out to sea.
We're out to sea because you know what? The base kept it within like, it was more confined.
Right.
Now it's an open-ended, unregulated ocean of ships, which is how they fucking get away with it. Okay, I want to ask you your first question.
Okay.
Why are you single?
Why am I single? God, that was a pregnant pause. I have a life coach. She's like, choose, not I need. I'm going to choose to be single because, and I have been choosing to be single, but had dates and still on Raya.
Yeah, same.
We always keep the Raya. It's like,
Keep the Raya.
It's the anchor, baby. It's the anchor talking about shit.
Hey.
But I choose to be single because I am going to love myself before somebody else can love me.
I mean, it's a
Why
little...
did I end that with a question
Instagram
mark?
meme is this?
Yeah.
Like, come on. Okay. Ever been married? Yes or no?
Yes.
You have been married?
Yes.
How many marriages?
One.
Yeah. Okay. I got two.
Okay.
So, you know.
Right on.
It's
like, not to the belt, not to the belt. Okay.
I don't know.
Loving it.
Well, you can see how well it's going because I'm back out there. So the only common denominator in these failures is obviously yours truly. But...
Not true. No, I'm sticking up for you. You're fabulous already. Okay. It's not your fault.
Okay, it wasn't my fault. Okay. Okay, so you were married. How long were you married for?
I was with a person, a director, we were together like 22 years. So I was with him from like 21 until I was 41.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So it was a long time. Yeah.
Babies, no babies.
No babies.
No babies.
No babies. Yeah.
Is it easier, you think, to date as a woman without having babies?
Yes, maybe. I've been talking to like different women who have children.
Yeah.
I have 2 dogs.
Yeah.
So if you were to ask my brother, like, is it easier? Or like my brother's like, maybe like you shouldn't post so many selfies with your dogs because that's really turning guys off. I'm like, why?
They're so cute.
Yeah.
That is not my person.
Not my person. Like my person is gonna love my dogs and the dog hair and walk them.
I have my friend T. She has an Instagram for her Frenchies, and the Frenchies are stealing all her Instagram. She's fine.
Okay, yeah, I have an Instagram for my dogs. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So I'm liking where this is going. Okay.
Normal.
Okay.
Don't listen to that.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. So 20 years is a long time.
Yeah.
And it just like again, I can speak for me. Like in my case, we grew apart. Like I was very much in love. Once resentment starts brewing, you don't talk about things properly. And then you put your little resentment seeds into the resentment pot and you water that, right? It's
great metaphor. Yeah.
That's what happened in my case.
Right. So, it just becomes like a chia pet. You're just like, oh crap. Why are these resentments like a Bob Ross afro? Yeah. Right? Exactly. Like, dang.
It's the one thing flourishing. This plant is flourishing in this relationship.
Okay.
So in your case, what would you say? Like nothing horrific happened. It was just a slow fate? What do you think of yours?
Mine was like, mine was a little worse than that. He brought in baggage of which I was happy to have. That's the ultimate thing, is where you're like both unpacking your baggage and like you're like, hey, let's fit this into our little like Louis Vuitton together,
so
right?
Fine with the baggage.
So I was fine, yeah, but the baggage wasn't fine with me. Like that baggage wasn't fine with me. So I ended up having an annulment from the state of California. He basically like he didn't want kids and said that he did, and so yeah, it was an annulment. It was kind of ugly.
So basically, you wanted kids,
yeah,
but he did not want kids.
Yeah, but he had said that he wanted kids.
Of course.
Yeah, so then that went to the heart of the marriage and yada yada. So yeah.
It's amazing, like when we are in love, though, how much of our own goals and ambitions then get suppressed because love just puts like some kind of blanket over that.
Yeah.
Where we stay too long, maybe. I know I did.
Yeah. Oh, stay too long. I'm always like I stay until like the maid is cleaning up the party the next morning. Like it's not cool at all. Yeah. And so that was rough. Like coming out of that into the dating world was like, what am I doing? Like I didn't even have that at 21. I didn't date. So I'm like,
well, you also
feel like you're feeling around in the dark.
Yeah, you were with him,
right? I think the place where you exit the relationship, you're still the emotional equivalent of what age you were when you got into the relationship.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm a 21-year-old dating. You know, I'm just like, like my self-esteem is crap. Like, yeah.
Because you're freezing time.
Right.
As someone who's had multiple, I am the serial monogamist.
Okay.
And I've been in and out, so I feel like the jump was a little softer for me. I had a softer landing.
Okay.
But I like this conversation because it makes perfect bloody sense to me that you are coming out how you came in.
Just wide-eyed, bushy-tailed, like blink, blink, like what the heck am I doing? Am I supposed to pay for dinner? All the questions. Yeah, I have no reference of like, what am I supposed to do?
Fascinating time. But my last relationship was 6 years. And part of why we wanted to do this podcast was because I came out now going like, do I text after a date? Does he text? Is it, when do I have sex? Like, do I have to wait? Because none of us is a virgin.
Right.
So I was like, questions. And as I went on apps just to kind of look up, I don't know, dating tips or whatever.
Right.
A lot of them were either geared to 20-year-olds or 30-year-olds where they talk about, okay, I'm not on Snapchat. And you should post 4 stories. I'm like, what stories? Like, the advice was not applicable.
Right, because it's like, do you have a Snapchat after 30? Yeah. Maybe. Is Snapchat still kosher?
I don't know.
I don't either. It feels a little bit immature, but yeah.
And the other thing I felt like it was a lot of wait 3 days before this. Don't do that.
The rules.
Judge him by this. And I was just like, this makes no sense because I can't navigate with all these rules.
There's so many rules. Yeah. You're just like.
It's their qualification, you know?
Right.
And what were the first apps you went on and what was your experience with that?
Okay. So the first apps I went on, now I want to preface this by saying I have like a beautiful gay Black uncle.
Love him.
Gorgeous. Love him. Right. So he was single and he's out there like giving me advice. So I had a captain in my ship, you know, to like give me like, girl, you know, here's what you do. You go on, he said to do Bumble. He said to do Plenty of Fish.
Okay.
Which I thought was a Christian dating site. It's not. Like the fish, the Jesus reference. I was like, oh, maybe they're like nice Christians. I don't know. And then I did like Bagels and Coffee, which I thought would be a Jewish dating site. Turns out it's a lot of Asians. Very handsome Asians too. Oh. Yeah, I was just like, okay. And then of course, like I didn't do Tinder because I was like, I'm not a whore.
Okay, well, you're looking at one. I'm on the Tinder and sourcing on producers. Sarah, are you on Tinder?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I
thank you.
That's why. No, because I was no offense, like to anybody.
Hey, offense is fucking taken. Okay. We were just called whores in 4K. That's upsetting to me, but I'm just gonna live with this. And also, not just me, Sarah, and I don't know who else in here is on Tinder. Connie, are you on Tinder? I'm
on Hinge.
I was just throwing the net generally into the sea, being like, I'll take a nice Christian man, I'll take a nice Jewish man, I'll take a nice Asian, I'll take you know.
That's what I've been doing in my years of dating.
Good.
So I'm on Raya,
good girl,
Tinder, Bumble, The League. I had to
The League.
The League.
Now tell me about The League.
The League is like you're supposed to be of a certain income to be on it, and it's very expensive for women, you can get 3 swipes a day and not pay the very expensive membership.
Oh.
So I do 3 swipes a day.
Okay, it's ladies' night. It's ladies' night on the lake
at 5 p.m., my friend.
Okay.
But because you only get 3, you kind of savor a little bit better than just like swipey, 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 you know, the window shopping of Bumble. And they're supposedly like, you know, higher educated, more successful.
Right.
Because you're looking for different things now.
Right.
I mean, listen, you might not. Like for me, my last boyfriend was no career, broke, and I paid for everything.
No,
I don't want to go down that route again.
So the league is like upgrading.
Yes.
Which
anything from him is upgraded. But 7-Eleven would be an upgrade.
Yeah, okay. No bitterness. It's right. This is where the apps get confusing because it's like I read this I think on Reddit because I was like, what's the deal with Raya? And there are a lot of people who say on Raya, people don't actually communicate with one another. So that it's kind of like the dead app. Like you can get on there, but then people don't talk back to you. And I'm wondering, like, is that the pretense?
How many months have you been on Raya?
I've been for a couple of years now.
Couple of years?
Yeah.
How many would you say that you have
actually dated?
Yeah, gone on a date with from Raya.
Okay, I went on a date with 3.
Okay, so 3 dates from Raya in 2 years.
Yeah.
But they were, you feel like, good quality.
Yes.
I did not have that experience. I met a film director from Raya, and we met downtown. We were a few drinks in. We do make out on the first date, which, you know, whatever, because I was very enamored by this man. And then 2 days later, he sends me pictures of his hot friends and proposes a foursome. That's my Raya experience. Sends me a picture and goes, my friends would like to meet us. And they're very scant, like very half-naked clothing. And I was like, if this is a foursome, I'm not interested.
Oh, God.
No, I just meant for a drink. So I said, no, you didn't. Because if that was the case, you would have just said, hey, do you want to grab a drink with my friends? So there was a different intention. I was like, I'm out.
Okay.
So that was my...
So you bounced.
I totally bounced.
Good. But some people might want that.
Some people on their second date might be like, let's do a foursome.
Right.
But to that point, there could be other apps for that maybe. I don't know.
Right.
But that was my experience so far. But I have high hopes.
Okay.
Because I like the app.
Yeah, it is a good app. Okay.
What I wanted to ask you though, so we have the Nano-ships, right? Where that's like the little chat. And then the next level, like textationships, where you text, but you still haven't met. Like, what's been your experience on that? Any crazy stories? Anything that's like, it happens a lot to you, or anything that stands out?
So my uncle, like, he's with a man now, who is absolutely stunning, and they are like happy as happy can be, right?
That's so cute.
Yeah, amazing. So I'm always wanting to stop and get off all the apps, and he's just like, really, it happened to me, so how come you're doing it? And I have accountability to him because he really found his forever after.
Yeah, and a lot of people do it.
Right. So this is the formula. This is like the formula.
This is the formula from the uncle who clearly found love.
Yes. This is how people should do it, men and women. That you text at first, like you hook up, you're like, whatever, get that bit, ding. Like, I don't know. Like, so I'm still, I'm
worried for you because you don't even know the words. Like, I know it's called a match.
Okay, so you match.
I mean, what?
So basically, you match.
Yeah.
You communicate. You do not let them, or you don't, like, converse too much back and forth texting because there can be so much of that, and then you're like, you're like, hey, how are you? Great, what's going on? Nothing.
It's forever.
So you just right away kind of say, hey, how are you? Like your profile. You go out, you meet for coffee. It's not any longer than a half hour. So then you just have the first coffee date. Like you're done, boom, half hour, bye. Let's do something again. Then the next time you go out to a date, like an actual date. It's dinner. There's no like, you know.
Okay, so I've been doing it wrong. I hear it now. So talk a little bit. 30-minute coffee, it's not even a date.
Not even a date.
You just have a dinner date.
A dinner date, right? Nothing big, then you go home. Right? Not too much texting in between. Right. And not too much texting in between. And then after that, then, God dang it, I can't even remember what the third one is.
This is why, Tana, that's why.
This is why I have failed.
You can't remember the last step.
I know, because somewhere between the first and the second date, I'm like, I'm horny, I need to get laid.
That's what happens.
You know, like, And, you know, as a 40 woman in their 40s and 50s are like 14-year-old boys. I mean, we just need to get laid.
We just need to get laid. But that is what gets in between the zazazoo.
Right.
And it just gets in there. I feel the zazazoo. And then, but I've been there many times on days where I'm kind of like, okay, like I get to a point where he says something. Like
right.
Something that icks me. For example, like I don't talk to my parents and all, and I hate them. And I'm like, oh. And that happened to me one time. And I was like, okay. Like successful, he was a guy, went to Harvard,
right.
He's a lawyer and everything.
Okay.
He dressed so cool.
Oh, nice.
And I'm just like, bad, right? Bad.
Right, no, that's good, but good.
So, and I'm like, two drinks in.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, left turn or right turn. So we know he's no longer, he moved out of the possible relationship folder, but he is moving into the one night stand folder. That he did. God. And then I was like talking about, I have this great drink that I make in my house for Christmas. And he was like, I would love to try that.
Oh,
drink.
Girl, you were like,
yeah. And he was just like,
you were fishing on the ship.
But here goes the best part. This shows how little I care about this man. So then he goes to me, I said, I Ubered here. And I said, okay. He goes, well, take my car. He goes, I don't believe in fancy cars. I might be educated and great and I make a lot of money, but car investment is the dumbest thing on the planet. So I'm thinking like, okay, obviously we're not in a G-Wagon or Rivian here. We might be in a Honda, right? Oh, no.
Oh, God.
Once I've already committed to this man coming home and I'm already sexually in my head, I'm visually there, I see this car and it's like, I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen a Fiat Panda or a Trabant from Russia. I go in, the car was so tiny and boxy, it looked like someone had broken into it and stolen the radio and everything in it. So I sit down in it going like, oh. And then literally to your point, I was like, okay, well, girls gotta eat.
Girls gotta eat.
And I
focus on the Italian shoes. Focus on the Italian shoes. It's like you can just focus on the.
I was like this. I'm like, you're hot.
Okay.
This man cannot stop texting me. He literally is the guy who texts, "Hey, girl, you up?" Like perpetually. And at one point I was just like, hey, I can't like. I know what happened that night, and I seem all wild and crazy.
Yeah.
But I kind of can't be that girl all the time. That was just one night. That was me at the time.
Right.
Now.
Right.
So that's my.
Then. This is me now.
Yeah.
We're not talking anymore.
Right.
Okay. So did you ghost? Kind of.
I did ghost.
Okay.
And then he texted me again 2 months later, and then I actually said, I'm sorry for ghosting you. But again, that girl, she gone. But I do think women can basically choose like relationship or one night stand, just like men do it.
Right.
We have equal needs. Like no one should be shamed for that. Go do your thing.
Right.
What about like, have you had any situationships since then? Meaning that like it's undefined, no one will commit. Like, tell me about one.
Yeah. Like situationships where I've like waited around for the guy all week because I want him to come over. Yeah. And then he eventually is like, okay, let's get together tonight. And then it's like, okay, drop everything, put the dogs in daycare. Like we're doing this tonight. Like, you know, and then you just wait around. Right. But I'm just angry and like, why am I doing this? But I am. And then it just, so that I got out of after a year. That was a situationship, right?
Situationship for a year.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm a firm believer that you're only in a situationship because one person doesn't want a relationship.
Right.
The other person does.
Right.
It's very rare, I think, that two people go, I would love to be in a completely undefined, undetermined relationship with a human being in perpetuity. I think who would sign that contract?
Nobody.
No one.
No.
In fact, it's one person who just wants sex, company, and a temporary girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. And that person like loves them. That is why we have those ships.
Oh God.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Well, once you do it, I don't know if you can go back.
What do you mean?
Can you do that again? Like after you've been in that, like that's
That's a good point.
Yeah. I don't know
and I'm not doing it again.
Right.
Now it's like
you go through it like.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you're doing the show because we can tell other women like, don't do this.
Bloody waste of time. And it's amazing how much energy we put into this person after just a couple of dates.
Yeah, and how self-deluded we can get because, you know, I was driving over, doing his laundry, like coming back home, and then I'm just like, oh yeah, this is so happy.
But it's taking like the little crumbs that you can
get. The little crumbs. I was so hungry. I was like Hansel and Gretel. It was just like, yeah.
Now you're like, now I can see it next time.
Yeah. So I don't want to do that again.
Okay.
And you can tell when that's not going anywhere.
Listen, the worst thing is you fucking know.
You know. So I think then at that point you have to say, okay, after these 3 dates, this is not going anywhere. He's just texting. He's just like, but it's not going anywhere. So I think then it is good to have that folder, like you said, for the one night stand folder.
I think so. Maybe we should check with your uncle, like the Yoda of dating.
I know. We need to like phone
does he have a cutoff time?
Right.
Number of dates. We're missing the fourth step. Tana can't remember. It's the...
Because as soon as I remember the fourth step, I'm going to find that person.
Yeah.
Now he also says, right, in terms of like, you know, manifesting, right? Like the Joe Dispenza, the Esther Hicks, you know, like he's like, make a list of exactly what you want. Read that list every morning and every night, right? And I'm like, okay, he's got brown hair. He's like, what kind of brown hair? Is it curly? Is it straight? I'm like,
I like this.
I know, it's so specific. It's like, what car does he drive? Does he drive a Kia or does he drive like, you know,
not a Trabant?
Right. Like, what is his profession? You know, it's supposed to be like so specific, and then you read it every morning, every night.
Okay, what about first dates? Have you ever done any first dates in someone's house?
Yes, in my house. And all my girlfriends are like, are you freaking crazy? And I'm like, oh God, that's so Iowa, isn't it? Yeah, like
You invited men to your house on a first date?
Yes, and it's, number one, it's dangerous. Number two, it's just lazy, right? Because I'm just like, I don't want to go out. Then we have to figure out who's going to pay. I'm like, oh, I'll just come over and I'll order pizza. And I have that trusting, like, I'm not leaving the door unlocked Midwestern kind of thing, you know, which is so stupid. Like, it's so...
But I don't know why you want to be on Unsolved Mysteries on Netflix.
My friends are just like, are you crazy? Yeah, so that's what I stopped doing, you know, like...
Hold on a minute. He walks in and he talks, you know, within 5 minutes, what if you hate him? Now you have to still make him serve him your lasagna?
Right, and you have to ask them to leave, like...
Right.
Yes.
How do you do that?
I mean, one guy that I was on like a second date with, right? Like he was like, okay, now I want to see you with your clothes off, like go back. And I was like, excuse me? And he was like, yes, I'd like to see you with your clothes off. Now I was like...
But you do know, Tan, that is what's expected, like at a home date.
Okay, no, see, and I'm like, I was like, oh, it's like Pollyanna, it's home date.
I'm equally hypocritical. Can I tell you something cute?
Yeah.
My very first date after being single, my very first one, he was a race car driver. I was asked to go to his house.
Okay.
And I was like, everybody I called, including Sarah here, and I called my other friends, Brooke, and I called Yasmin, all of them. They were all like, are you insane? And I was like, what's wrong with that? I'm from Sweden. I can go to people's houses. He's from Greece. He's European. So because he's European, I'm not going to end up on Unsolved Mysteries. Like, I did go. So I went to his house. I drove there. We actually clicked. We made out.
Okay.
And I drove home.
Okay.
And there's a part 2 to that story I'll tell another time. But my point is, I went to someone's house. They cooked for me. Turned out to be perfectly normal.
Great.
And we just didn't keep going.
Okay.
But now that I've been dating like the Olympics.
Fellow Olympians, don't forget to hit subscribe. Now back to the show.
I realized how fucking dumb that was.
No, yeah. So I think that was early on for me too.
Yeah,
like it was just
an early mistake.
Yeah.
Okay, so life and love dating.
Yes.
We are not short of regrets.
No.
So on this show, since we diving into the basement,
yeah,
we're gonna spin a whole roulette with regrets. It's called Regret Roulette. And whatever it lands on, you will spill a story. Like WTF, ghosting, or worse text. It's a lose-lose, we like to call it.
Oh, great.
So, yeah.
Okay. Just bear it all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Let's see what we're gonna talk about. Nudes.
Is this a dick pic?
It could be whatever you want it to be.
Okay, so I have a female version of a dick pic.
Oh.
Now I want to know if you do this too. Okay.
I already know.
Okay, because girls can play too. You know, I'll do like a cute little like a cute butt picture.
Yep. I
like it's
butt.
like okay.
The butt's safer.
Right. It's safe. Which now I can't do this if any of the guys see this, you know, podcast. But I'll just forward a picture that I took a while ago, maybe for some other date. Right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Like a template.
Right. It's a template.
I like it.
I know, because it's not more.
What does Uncle Yoda say about sending dick pics?
Oh, he would think it's cheap and horrible. So I can't tell him that.
I don't think butt pics is on his top 5.
No.
I don't think another reason Tana is failing. I've had a guy once texting me like, can I send you something? and it's for adult eyes only. And I actually was with my children at the time, and I was like, no, sir, you may not. But I appreciated the ask.
Right.
Because I did get one time a dick pic at work. And I was like,
okay, we're getting ready to shoot the scene where she's
I should have
dying of cancer. And then you're like, hey,
dude,
Daddy.
I just shook completely out of my like lighting issue and format issue. And there's a big penis there. Like, I think I reset. I could have better opinions after that. But my regret is more like, I regretted that I opened it at a very
inopportune time.
I picked him up in a bar. Ooh. I walked up and I was like, you are hot. And then I walked away. That was my line.
That's amazing.
Just to see if it's,
and then
if he comes, he comes.
Because you're kind of like, you're just like throwing out the magic dust to see if it settles.
We don't linger.
And then what, did he follow you?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I've done it with not that success. You know, people probably go like, what's this?
It's probably good practice.
Listen, you don't.
You know, just to walk past a guy and be like,
you're hot.
You're so zaddy. So can we say that still at our age?
Yeah, I mean, he was not a zaddy because I was kind of cradle snatching.
Okay.
But, you know, he was more like 28, but I went for it, you know.
Good girl.
He was, I was a MILF probably for him.
I'll take it. Practice on the youngins.
You got to practice on the little ones.
Yeah.
I know that. So
I got a template.
Tanna, everybody. We are doing butt templates.
Yes.
So you can then recycle.
Yeah.
I like it. Okay. We like to bring up some facts on this show.
Okay.
We rarely stick to them.
Okay.
A recent 2025 match study says 42% of singles over 40 report being in a situationship in the last year. So almost half of singles, even if they didn't realize it at the time.
Interesting.
That number jumps when you include people who thought they were exclusive until they saw a Hinge update.
Dang.
That's crazy. So half the people dating are basically in a situationship, which means half the ocean does not want to commit, which is why we're shipwrecked.
We're totally shipwrecked.
Who's the non-committing 40s?
Right. We're Gen Xers, but we're not willing to confront stuff. We're just like, whatever. If they want to date, like, cool. If they don't, like, whatever.
But I'm starting to think that guys might be worse at there's always someone better. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know if women do as much. I don't know. What do you think?
Maybe I think because of our chromosomes, maybe we do not have the same tendency to want to get out there and go and go and go. Like we actually want to like settle down, you know?
So.
And then I think that adds to like some diluted idea of the ideal situationship.
So I just think that if you ask women, do you love situationships? I would say an overwhelming number, and again, we're guessing, would say not really. I don't like them at all.
No.
But for men, I guarantee an overwhelming number would be the other way. Yeah, it's very convenient. I have a girlfriend when I want to, I don't when I don't, and I can just keep dating and swiping, and what's the problem?
Right, exactly.
As of last night, I think I had 3,600 likes on Tinder. So my point is, if the issue isn't to find a man, but you want someone that checks like, and I'm flexible. 6 out of 10 things. Don't have roommates, you know, have a job, don't drive the Trabant, be emotionally available.
Right.
I cannot do any more avoidance.
Right.
Whew. Moving on. We both know that when you are on dating sites, early on, there's red flags and green flags.
Yes.
We have a little game.
Okay.
Called Flagged or Bagged.
I love it. Okay.
Here you go. So Tana, there's a green flag.
Okay.
We have a red flag.
Okay.
I am going to read some modern kind of dating behaviors.
Okay, great.
You're going to tell me if it's for you a red or green flag.
Right.
Here we go. A guy who only texts after 10 p.m. Red flag.
Yes.
Why is it a red flag?
I had to think about that for a minute. If he's in the I want to keep him folder, then it's like, no.
I agree with you. Like if you want to keep him and he only texts you at 10 p.m.
No.
It feels like we're entering another ship. We're back on a ship.
Right.
Someone who says, I just don't believe in labels.
Stop it. No.
Which flag are we doing?
We're red. We're red.
Redding.
Right.
All over.
All like not here, not here, not here.
I agree.
Yeah.
I love on Tinder when it goes, what are you looking for? And I think there's a thing like, I'm not sure yet or whatever. Like, why on earth are you on this app?
Right.
And some of them are like 55,
it is weird.
56, not sure yet. You still don't fucking know, dude.
I know.
You're 55.
And speaking of which, like how many ages have you found that are actually on point, because I usually like subtract 7 years from most of the guys who are above 50, because that's not their age.
Yeah, I mean, I learned this the hard way.
Yeah.
Like all the men have like a technical problem with age, which I find fascinating.
By the way, fascinating.
Like it's ridiculous.
Really? Because you can't. Yeah.
I have so then I have my FBI friend.
Okay.
Brooke, who's the FBI.
Okay.
I had a guy, and I called him on the phone. We talked. And
okay.
Tanna, we could hear that they sound older than they say.
Yes.
He said it was 51, and I was like, ooh.
You're 62.
Right. So I gave his number and first name, and I knew he was into like hair transplants or something. I had 3 pieces of information. That's all. That's all Brooke needs.
Wake up, Daddy's home.
Welcome home, sir.
And sure enough, she finds his birthday. She was like, oh, he's going to be 57. And she goes, actually, in February, 58. Like, I was like, okay. He lied, to your point.
Yeah.
7 years.
7 years. Yep. It's usually a 7-year, like, yeah.
What the fuck is that about?
Right.
I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay, good one.
Yeah.
You've been seeing them for months, but they never once invited you to anything social.
I mean, that's just jacked up.
And it happens.
Oh,
in the ships.
I'm going to share a horror story that happened to my uncle. So he was seeing this guy for a long time. Then all of a sudden, he's on Facebook. He finds the guy. The guy is engaged, and to a woman. Yeah, he found him. He had a different name. He was engaged to a woman, but she ended up calling my uncle and being like, oh my God, what's going on? And he was like, you guys need to work this out, not me.
You know what?
Yeah.
That happened to another one of our producers. She met a guy online. Then someone else put him on that thing. Are we dating the same guy? And it blew up. Okay. Someone who doesn't do any social media.
It's weird. It's sus. It's sus. It's just like, yeah, they're trying to hide something.
Because he really has like a wife and 4 kids in Jersey.
Yes. In Jersey.
Yeah.
Everything bad happens in Jersey.
Okay.
No, I don't know.
On the apps, shirtless gym selfies.
No.
A guy who says he's a comedian in his profile.
Oh, no. Because they're never, ever funny. Never. Suicidal.
Sarah, producer, said earlier that a comedian told her that they are suicidal and financially not stable.
Yes.
So he said, stay away from us. Like comedian Twitter, don't come after us. But this came from comedians, your people.
And also, I don't like it when guys are like, no drama, please. Because every time that guy has said no drama, please, he is sure to create so much drama.
That is actually really good.
So much drama. Like,
that's
it's going to turn knock you on your ass.
So, bios.
Can I just say what I look for now that has just been the yeses and nos of profile pics? Chime in here if you're feeling it, okay? Number 1, first and foremost, if they're in pictures of with another woman that's not their sister. And some men actually like post like several pictures with different women, which is like, is that supposed to get me like to think, oh wow, women like him? And then when men actually just like scratch out the woman's face, that's a definite no. Like,
scratch out reminds me of the 1992 yearbook. It's a little Buffalo Bill or what I did to Megan in 7th grade.
The other thing is like when men are pimping their dogs or pimping their cats or pimping their babies. Also men with livestock, right? Like
also men with livestock.
Like if they're maybe not a tiger and maybe not like a fish.
Let's get this right for all the viewers who might want to date you.
Okay.
So they can fix their bios for you. What are some things that would make you swipe right on someone?
So if they're looking for a relationship, you know,
because the long-term relationship is the first thing you look for. Because
right. Like even on Raya, like people who are there just for friends.
Those friends.
And that's also the total opposite, because those guys end up like, I've been asked into threesomes by those guys, and they're just like, you know, they're not there for friends. Those are especially the guys that are not there for friends.
I just X them out.
Right. I'm just like, no.
What about short term? Do you ever swipe on a short term?
No.
Same.
Right. Like why?
I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
Just go get a professional. You know.
Gosh, if they like Maroon 5, I'm not a fan. Yeah.
It's a hard no.
I know, that's a hard no.
Okay.
Also, if they're like on a yacht or some sort of boat,
Yeah.
then I also think that or if they're on a private plane, like you're compensating for something that you don't have.
Yeah. But that's also like the peacock effect. Like, look what I have. Look what I have.
Okay,
Me.
so I'm learning because that
that
does attract women. Okay.
I feel like it's very administrative. I really feel like it's the male peacock going like, what I can provide for you.
Oh, okay,
You know.
that's cute.
We're going to jump into this week's Biohazard.
Okay.
It's hilarious out there. And some of you, again, you need a little help. If your kids or job comes first, don't talk to me. I am an unemployed male PS5 gamer. I have a cat, and that is the only child I'll have. I'm looking for a female with no expectations. Is that you? Again.
He is a keeper. I want to know so bad.
No expectations. You know what that is? A dead female. Okay, next one. I live at home.
Yeah.
I am cheap, short, have no friends, have a lot of debt, but make up for everything with a low FICO score. I'm sure none of this is a deal breaker for you, and you think I'm a catch. That to me is funny, and I would swipe on that.
I would probably do that too, because I kind of love that.
Good. Remember back in the 80s where there was like VHS tapes or dating bios?
I'm looking for someone who's looking for me. Someone.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth, and I live in the West End Pretend Valley. Pardon me. Hi, I'm Jana. I'm looking for... I'm not sure.
I guess you could say I'm an Oreo cookie freak. I have an Oreo cookie jar, Oreo salt and pepper shakers. I like to collect anything with an Oreo on it. And I love to eat double stuffed ones. They're the best.
That's your camera.
Okay.
That's your video bio.
Okay.
Give us your best shot.
Hi, if you like not listening to Maroon 5, you love a woman named Anna from Sweden, you wanted me to meet your parents on the second date, and you're not into pegging, I am the girl for you.
Perfect. So now, Tana, I think you could be an expert in dating at this point. You've been on multiple apps. You invited men on first dates at home. You've had situationship that apparently lasted a year. I will ask you a question from a viewer, and all you can do is your best.
Okay.
I've been seeing someone for 4 months. We sleep together, talk daily, but he says we're not dating. What do I do?
God, see, I haven't been successful at this. Like, so I don't know what to say because I was like...
Did you submit this question?
Maybe I submitted that question. I'm like, oh, God. I'm like, do you know what my first response was like? Ask him to meet his parents. If he says no, I mean...
No, the answer here is you break up.
But it's not that simple.
4 months.
You know?
We sleep together, we talk daily, but we're not dating.
Yeah, I mean, we totally...
This is the definition of a situationship.
It is a situationship.
This is a babyship. What are we saying? We're part of the boat. We're not sailing anymore.
Okay. I'm just having bad flashbacks, that's all.
I'm just putting you through PTSD.
I know, right? Yeah.
You're applying what happened to you to this question.
Right, totally.
That's
I was trying to think, and I'm like, no, I'm not.
Okay.
Not.
I hear you, and that's fair.
Okay. Thank you.
But now that we've learned.
Insane, but fair. Yeah.
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 Now that we learned, if we don't feel defined, we're going to define it.
Okay.
I'm dating a guy who has a foot fetish. I think feet are disgusting. He constantly wants to suck on my feet. It's a turn on for him, not for me. But what do I do? Is there any hope for us?
I think so. I would say, have him really invest in some feet spa treatments so that there's an exchange there to where you are getting comfortable with your feet.
Right. Learn to like it.
Learn to like it. Learn to like
fetish.
Because I mean,
so maybe she needs to unlearn the disgust because I don't think it's the worst fetish.
No.
I had a guy in DC, foot fetish. We dated for like 2-3 months. I totally embraced it because of all the fetishes, and I've been asked to do other cuckoo bird stuff.
Wow.
This was not a bad one. I was like, okay.
And I'm so curious about like different fetishes. Do you think that is discernible when you're dating? Can you tell if some guy is going to have some crazy kink? Okay.
Kink isn't
right.
Turn off. I'm curious now. Am I in a nurse costume?
Right.
Yes,
or is it something? Yeah.
So we don't know. Kink is very broad.
It's very broad. Do you think that people should be stating their kink in their profiles?
Yes.
Right? So should you be saying like, I am into pegging on Raya?
No, I don't think you have to disclose until you match.
Okay.
But I think when you match, you should say it.
But if it's a serious make or
wrong with
break,
pegging
like
or BDSM, whatever people want to do, I just think.
And I'm just saying, like, for me, but that I feel like BDSM, pegging,
Yeah.
like there are some things that are very serious that if you are going to be in a relationship and it's a make or break, then should that be in your dating?
I think so. So we're saying this. Please be upfront about your kink, at least when we get to the texting phase.
Yes.
I think that's fair. Listen, you have been an awesome guest.
I had a great time, Anna.
So we're going to finish with a perfect 10 quick fire questions. Perfect 10.
Okay.
For a perfect 10.
Okay.
What is the most romantic gesture someone has ever done for you?
I think like spooned when I was crying and then ordered pizza.
Spooning when you were crying and ordering pizza.
Yeah. That's what a girl wants, right?
We're very simple.
Right.
What is the best piece of dating or love advice you have ever received?
I think it's from Yoda.
Yeah, Uncle Yoda.
Yeah, Uncle Yoda. To just, there's something to be said for making this manifestation list. Better to shoot high than to shoot low.
Yeah.
So I like it. I like reminding myself of what I want.
I love this manifestation list. I think it's brilliant. What one thing would you lie about on a dating app?
Cooking, because I'm terrible at it. Like I burn microwave popcorn. I'm really bad.
I don't know, making coffee is kind of cooking.
Right.
Hey, you make a toast?
Yes,
Cooking?
I can
Cooking.
toast.
It's not cooking.
Right.
Okay, what quality do you most deplore in a partner?
Pegging. I'm honest. I know
brilliant.
it's a thing. I know it's not just me now.
No.
Like I just don't want to peg.
What is the most unusual place you have ever had sex?
I would say domestically, like a cornfield.
Oh.
Yeah, it was really romantic.
Ever sent nudes to anyone, but I think we got our answer.
Yeah.
Not only that, we have a template.
We have a template.
I bet your butt is fabulous.
Thank you. I bet yours is too.
It's not bad. What's a toxic trait that you secretly enjoy?
I kind of love it when they're gym rats and they have like slight body dysmorphia.
Oh.
Right? Because it shows they're human.
You're like a nurturer.
Yes.
I love that. This is not a man question.
Great.
Tana, woman extraordinaire. When I see you in a year from now, what personal glow up will we be celebrating?
I will be directing a feature film or have wrapped the feature film, and I'll be dating Benicio del Toro.
I mean, perfection. We had such a fun time. I think we are no longer shipwrecked. We found our life jackets. As for Hey Girl You Up, we are always up. We are on all your usual podcast platforms. Lastly, you know what? Many, many ships will sink, but the right one will always float. This is Hey Girl You Up. Next up on Hey Girl You Up, who's your zaddy? One gay man, lots of dates, zero patience for bad behavior.